Hey there folks, Rel here. This is your weekly update for Sunday, March 16th, 2014. Not a whole lot to talk about this week. On Wednesday, we released a short video of a handful of my favorite PlanetSide YouTubers and Twitch.tv live streamers, and there were and are many more channels in the video description. Seriously, the video description is like a mile long. It's quite extensive. So if you want to find more people to watch on YouTube or follow on Twitch.tv, then there are a lot of people in that video description just waiting to be discovered, and I'm sure that they would appreciate your support. Oh, and speaking of other YouTubers, Mukas, he put out a video yesterday of, I guess, the first time that he had run into me, and it's hilarious. I found it really funny, mostly because of the music that he used, and I smiled just kind of thinking about it, but it's a very short clip. If you're curious, the link to that is in the description below. On Saturday, instead of releasing a regular video like I normally try to, I instead took about an hour and a half to answer questions from all of you. And it's probably been more than a year since the last time we did an Ask Me Anything session, and that's what this was. There were about 200-ish subscribers sitting in the channel asking me questions, and I tried as best I could to give out coherent answers, which doesn't always work out the way that I like it to. But in the background, I was actually trying to produce a video for you guys on the spot. That also didn't work out too well because I basically sat there answering questions and got zero amount of work done. But that is something that we might be able to do in the future, just let you guys in on the video editing process, and I'll just do what I normally do instead of also getting sidetracked by trying to pay attention to you guys in the chat and answering questions. So who knows, that could be a fun little thing we can try. The video that we were putting together is actually done now, and it should be out either Monday or Tuesday. It's a review on the Flak armor certifications. It's really short, nothing fancy, but if you've ever been curious as to what Flak armor will actually protect you from and how many certs you have to invest in order to make it worthwhile, then that video should provide at least a little bit of insight. Also this past week, something that I'm actually excited about is that Higby released the text files for weapon statistics. So Cheesecrackers has already updated the spreadsheet, big props to him, and I believe 50 Shades of Purple had plugged in his statistics as well. And the whole thing with the lack of weapon statistics, it was basically just a big miscommunication. The devs weren't like trying to deliberately hide things from us. It's just that some things had changed with their architecture and it got buried. That said, you will likely see a weapon review on the NS30 Vandal next week, and maybe some other things coming on down the pipe as well. On the casual channel, we put out the 12th part of the Mass Effect Trilogy Let's Play series, and we finished up Vermeer. We had to make a hard decision, and we discuss all sorts of things that relate to the series, like the interaction between characters and their development, and the scope of the first game opposed to the second, etc. And we will continue on with that series, hopefully finish up Mass Effect 1 in maybe 4 episodes or so, and then we can move on to Mass Effect 2, which is absolutely amazing. On top of that, we did release just a little bit of Titanfall gameplay, but more will certainly be coming out on the casual channel as well as on the main channel. Hopefully I can start putting out some Titanfall content next week. We'll be reviewing the Smart Pistol first and talking about how to be good at Capture the Flag, because it frustrates me to no end, and how to abuse the movement mechanics and all sorts of fun stuff. I would like to focus on PlanetSide 2, put out a lot more content for you, but honestly the graphics card thing is still an issue. So it's keeping my playtime very limited. The game will crash, it's very frustrating, it's a little bit depressing sometimes. In fact, that's why we did the Ask Me Anything instead of putting out an actual proper video. For those who are interested, I don't think it's an overheating problem with my graphics card. There's nothing wrong with the card itself. I actually swapped out cards, cleaned up my computer, a few other things. A couple people suggested that I try validating the PlanetSide 2 files again, so I'm going to give that a shot, see if it changes anything. Outside of that, I know I've been talking really quick, not a whole lot going on. The Liberator update did happen. It got some new toys and composite armor buffs and changes to Afterburner and Racer chassis, and that's pretty much it. I think it doesn't look like it was an earth-shattering change to the game just from a first glance. I think if anything it changed a lot more things for Liberator pilots against Liberator pilots, but I'm not a Liberator pilot or a Lib gunner most of the time. That said, I am interested in hearing how the Liberator changes have affected you if you are a more dedicated Lib pilot or gunner. Because even though I don't spend a whole lot of time there myself, I really have no interest in flying around and shelling people, it's very important that I try to gain some understanding of the good and the bad that came with the recent changes. So if you happen to have that knowledge and feel like sharing, then please do that in the comment section down below. Thanks very much folks, we're all signing off.
hostile heavy armor. We've got a hostile max in the area. Eyes on an enemy lightning. Enemy heavy tank identified. Watch your six. Infiltrator in the area. Eyes open. Enemy heavy. You call yourself a soldier. Stay alert. Enemy heavy nearby. Enemy Sunderer in the area.